Welcome to the Spirit School podcast. My name is Danielle Sarank, also known as the Squamish Medium. I created this space to inspire lightworkers to go from fear to clear and get connected to their sacred abilities and spiritual practices. I love supporting women through the creation of their heart-centered spiritual businesses in a way that lights them up and aligns them with their purpose. I am passionate to share all I know about the journey to becoming a professional psychic medium, mentor, and coach for the developing lightworker and spiritual entrepreneur. Through interviews, honest stories of my adventures, and lessons I learned, I hope to empower, inspire, and uplift you and get you excited about your life again. Welcome home. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Spirit School. I'm very excited to be here today on an episode that's deep to my heart right now on angels, ancestors, and spirit messages. So this is for the holiday season. I'm going to call it Christmas. I'm sure everyone out there celebrates something different. In my house, we celebrate Christmas, and so these are going to be your holiday episode. I'm really excited about it. I did record an episode last week on mediumship and mindset, and I'm going to launch that one a little bit closer to January because mindset and mediumship is actually the focus within the initiation circle in January. So I wanted to time it closer to when that 30-day challenge is going to be happening in the community. So very excited for that as well. And yeah, I'm happy to be here with you guys. It's been very, very busy getting the initiation ready. Seats go on sale January or December 31st for the wait list. So you can hop on the wait list below. You'll get a day advanced notice to secure your seat. Last year, or I think it was in July, I ran it. It sold out in 4 days. So I'm very excited to relaunch it. I have made so many incredible changes to it that are just going to elevate the experience based off of everything that I got feedback from. And yeah, I'm just so excited to share it with you guys. So it starts January 22nd. Seat sales will go on January 1st for, I'm going to just call it public, but the people on the wait list will get first dibs on the 31st. So I'm really excited about that. It's been very busy recording, putting everything together. Of course, I never leave an experience without some sort of workbook and handouts and all that fun stuff. So it's been fun putting that together, and I don't talk about entrepreneurship enough on this podcast yet, but I will be focusing on that later in winter and early spring. But I have to say, when one of my coaches, Natalie Wellstein of Soulshine Astrology, she posed the question to us. I was in her mastermind this year. What's one thing that you really learned about yourself this year? And for me, I said that I am creative. Because I have no skills when it comes to art or drawing or painting or creating anything with my hand or cooking. Like, I always figured that was creative. I also don't dance or sing. I have no real talents other than, showing up for people, mediumship, coaching, mentoring, serving the world of spirit. Like, these are kind of my abilities. But I found that the whole process of going full time this year into entrepreneurship is my creative outlet. I absolutely love it. I love going into Canva, creating things. Love creating these workbooks and the programs, and that has been one of the most fulfilling creative outlets I've ever had. And so that was my big surprise for this year was I am creative, and I express my creativity through my business. And so I'm super excited for that. And yeah, so I went a little bit next level with the initiation when it runs again. And I'm really excited to share it with you guys. So hit the link if you guys are interested. And yeah, I'm excited for that. So the other thing I've been going through a lot lately, which is why I really want to. So another thing I don't talk enough about on the podcast, which is really deep to my soul, and I don't think people understand how big of an aspect this is in my life because I don't talk about it enough, but it's angels. And, I am a medium first. I have always been interested in mediumship. I know that that's the main part of my path, but I did do 4 years of very intensive angel studies. Studied under Kyle Gray. I became one of his first 5 certified angel practitioners. So I was listed on his website. I didn't end up doing the structure that he had when it came to angel work. It didn't call to me, but I was so excited to learn about it, and I learned so much from him. But the truth of the matter is I haven't found my path on serving the angels. I do believe in my sessions, when it comes to especially my mentorship sessions, angels are definitely guiding a lot of it. I can't say that there's been very many, if any, people who came into the mentorship journey with me who didn't at least have one of the, we had 3-month journey together. One of the sessions that we did together focused on angel energy. And it's interesting for me because people will sign up for me often with mediumship as the focus, but we end up doing more on business. And then I have had a handful of people lately who I attune, and I say attune in a very different way than maybe other people use it, but I will go through a session where I'll tune them with the different angels that come through, and then their whole entire energy and intention shifts in their work, and they are so overwhelmed by the essence that the angels bring through that they're like, I want to learn more about angels. I need to learn more about angels. I'm like, I know. Their energy is so prevalent and their energy is so palpable. It's like nothing else I experience. And so I love angel stuff and I don't talk about it enough, but the truth of the matter is I dedicate almost an entire day every week to angel studies, and I'm constantly studying angel miracles. And anytime I do that, I receive miracles. It's just the most fascinating relationship that you can have with your angels, I swear. And so I do have a past episode on this. I think I've only done one episode on angels out of 101, if you can believe it. And it's the one where I interviewed my 5-year-old daughter when she was 5. Of course, she's 7 now. And that has to be one of the most popular episodes I've ever done. I get so many messages still about it. And so go check that out if you want to know my origin story when it comes to angels. But I just want to share some recent experiences. Then I want to talk about the angels that wanted to come through when it comes to the holiday season and the different things that we're typically focused on around this time of year. So in my day-to-day life, I think you guys kind of get the sense now. I have a very close relationship with my guide. I talk to my guide constantly. It's like having a best friend in my pocket, literally. And I talk to him about everything that's going on in my mind, everything that's going on in my life. It's not like any of this surprises him. It just feels good for me to kind of vocalize it and get it out. And it also shows the world of spirit where I'm at and where I feel like I'm going. And they'll knock me back on course if I veer too far off course, without a doubt. But I also talk as much to the angels as I do to Skylar. Now, angels, I don't want to get too much down philosophy because there's so much different philosophies out there. That's not what this episode is about. But what I will say is I have been communicating a lot with angels in the past few weeks because there are some things that I have been trying to overcome in my life. And, I'm not perfect. I think this whole podcast, the premise of it is to tell you guys the things I struggle with. And I am going to continue to do that. It doesn't matter where my career goes. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. But whenever I'm really struggling with the humanness of my experience, I do go to angels over Skylar because I believe that angels have the ability to intervene on our path, whereas our guides don't typically have that role in our experiences. So I've been working really closely with angel energy in the past couple weeks, and I just want to give you an example of things that happen after I set some intention and focus on angel energy. I start to see angel stuff everywhere. And this is the funniest thing. Like I was walking my dog 2 days ago and I saw a rock that looked like angel wings. Then I saw a plant and I do double take. I was like, that just looks like an angel right there. And then I look at the ground and all I see is the color blue. And blue and angels for me is very synonymous, not just with Archangel Michael, who usually appears to people as blue, but my daughter, when I first was, angels were brought to my awareness, she kept talking about a blue angel. So the color blue and angels for me is completely synonymous as well. Even yesterday, I was walking my dog up a path and there was like some sort of garbage on the ground. And again, I had to do a double take because it looked like angel wings in my peripheral. So we do, if you guys know, the peripheral vision is our spirit sight. That's where we see lights and shadows and things passing by and we're turning our head because we're like, what is that? That's because that's our spirit sight. Those are our spirit eyes. And when you turn around, you don't see it because the front view is our human eyes and our human experience. And the side is our peripheral, our spirit sight. So I get a lot of these different experiences. Same with like the 444s whenever I'm setting some really strong intentions, because angels speak to me through 4s. Some people say angels speak to me through 1s and 111s, et cetera, et cetera. For me, it's always been 4s. So like even today, driving my kids up to Whistler to go see some snow, because where I live, even though it's in the mountains, we still don't have any snow. So I drove them up there to go see some snow. I think about 3 times on the drive up there, 444 came up. Like there was 444 kilometers left in the tank. And then my ODO said, 121444. And then there was something else that came up, 444. It was a license plate just on the way up there. So there's a lot of signs that the angels give me continuously. Like, Danielle, we hear your prayers. We got this. Okay. We got this together. Just hold the faith, hold it. Hold it strong. Do not waver. We will get through this. And so that's why I love angel energy. It's just so incredibly healing. And I was very touched a few weeks ago after my cousin passed away. It was just timely. I booked this reading well before, but I had this amazing reading with this man in Scotland, and I just found him through the podcast rabbit hole, and I was like, ooh, I really like his energy. So I ended up getting a reading with him. And the first thing he said to me is like, Danielle, I just can't help but feel angels all around you. And that for me, even though my cousin came through, both my grandmothers came through, there's a ton of stuff that came through. That for me was one of the most validating things I got in that entire reading, because again, I'm not posting about angels very much at all. I don't talk about them very much. It's a very internal relationship for me. It's a very sacred one. And the fact that that was the first thing that he picked up for me was just like so emotional for me. I felt very seen, and yeah, it was amazing. And so, what's my future with angel work? I don't know. Spirit knows I'm interested in it without a doubt. The experiences I've had with angels when it came to sessions were just practice sessions that I was doing, trying to iron out how spirit angels wanted me to work on their behalf. And I don't think I ever landed on anything concrete. I remember every time I would rest my hands on the clients, I would be able to get insight into their past lives. I don't get it any other way. I have never worked with Akashic Records myself, but I know that people can access past lives through the Akashic. But the only time I received insight on somebody's past life and different fears that they're carrying in this existence has been through laying my hands on people with the intention of having the angels work through me. I have also had a hands-on trance healing experience, and I do feel angels were present for that as well. But again, I'm not in a rush either. This is the thing about my spiritual journey. Like, I do get these little, signs from spirit, and I have these like little experiences like in trance and stuff. And I know that that is going to be part of my path, but I'm never in a hurry to get there. I just literally let the path unfold in front of me. I'm like, okay, spirit clearly showed me I have trance healing abilities in a very powerful way. But did I sign up for every trance healing class after that? No, I just kind of let spirit really guide me towards how I am supposed to kind of get curious about it and take training on it or unfold about it, or who knows, right? I just trust spirit that they'll bring me what I need to know about that when it's time, and I relax around it. And I'm only 38, so I still have a big life ahead of me, so I don't have to figure everything out at once. And I'm just kind of digressing on this point because I feel like somebody out there needs to hear that. Okay, so let's talk about the holiday season. Now, when I was asking spirit, I was like, okay, who needs to come through for the listeners today when it comes to angel energy? And what they brought me was that there's a lot of people around this time, you don't have to be psychic to pick this up, but a lot of us are intending to make big changes in our life. At the time of recording this, it is winter solstice. It is 1:00 p.m. Pacific time on December 21st. So the Great Conjunction with Saturn and Jupiter. It's the first day of winter. It is the, shortest day, longest night. This is, our winter. If you are following the natural rhythms of Mama Earth or into shamanic studies, like this is the time of deep internal reflection and planting the seeds for the spring to come. And so I know that this is a time of year where we're just like yearning for all the changes. So I kind of wanted to bring through different angel energies that you can call in to help support you in some of these changes. Now, how do you work with angel energy? For me, I just talk to them. I just talk to them with a really open heart, a really vulnerable lens. If we talk about atonement, what we're telling them is the things that we're struggling with. I'm struggling with this. I thank you in advance for supporting me in getting through this and getting through the other side of it. And this is another way that I speak about angel energy is I speak from an affirmative lens. So I'm speaking as if it's already happened. And this is what I learned from Kyle Gray. And I love that practice with him. I think I started studying with him in 2015. And I highly recommend his book, Angel Prayers. There's a new version that's, LGBTQ friendly, because he is a gay man himself in Glasgow. And it's a beautiful book full of angel wisdom, angel prayers. For me, it's a sacred text. It's pretty much like a Bible to me. I read it once a year. There's a few books I read once a year. I read that one. I read The Afterlife of Billy Fingers, and I read Dying to Be Me. Those are kind of like the 3 books that I read every single year. And I highly recommend his book. I'll link it below too so that you can check it out. But if you read any of his work, I highly recommend that one if you're interested with angels. So what angels came through for you guys today? So when we talk about big changes, I did an Instagram live on this the other day where I was talking about like addictions and manifesting. So you can go to my IGTV if you're interested in learning more about that. I've been doing this kind of series on manifesting because I seem to manifest a ton of stuff in my life. So I'm just kind of sharing what I do and what I know about it. Again, manifesting, never taken a course, never read a book on it. I saw The Secret, I think like 15 years ago, and I didn't buy fully into it, to be honest with you. I was a bit skeptical of it, just because I'm a woman of action and there just didn't seem to be a whole lot of action within the method. But I was like, no, you got to be able to do something. You can't just like have a house appear to you, right? But anyways, don't need to digress that far, but go check that out too. But what I was talking about was around addictions and how we are all addicted, right? You don't have to be somebody who identifies as like an alcoholic or a pothead or somebody who dabbles in drugs once in a while. Like that's not necessarily the only definition of somebody who's addicted. Sometimes we're addicted to drama. Sometimes we're addicted to people who are bad for us. Sometimes we're addicted to overspending and overeating and over-consuming social media and Netflix binging, right? Sugar, processed foods. I mean, you try to give up any of those things, caffeine, you're going to see how addicted you are. So I talk about this from a little bit of that kind of addictions lens because I feel like when we're trying to release a way of being, it becomes a bit of an addiction, that way of being, right? So it's like this habit that's kind of on repeat and we're trying to just like break habits and bring new ones in. So I kind of wanted to talk about the angel energy from that lens. So the first angel I would introduce you to, if you haven't, I've heard about this one, is Archangel Jophiel. Jophial. So she is known as the angel of beauty and mindset and the kind inner voice. So when it comes to making drastic changes or changes that you know will benefit you in your future, you would definitely want to call in Archangel Jophiel and ask her and say, thank you for helping me see myself in a different way, or thank you for letting me see myself from the eyes of the angels, because the angels always want to come through saying, you're perfect. You are absolutely perfect. You are beautiful inside and out, and you are created of the same divine energy that I am. And so Jophiel is the one that you kind of want to bring in when it comes to mindset and when it comes to the internal voice, any lingering doubt that you're worthy of anything. You would want to definitely bring in Archangel Jophiel. You would definitely want to bring in Archangel Raphael, who's known as the divine physician. And so Raphael can help you with any discomfort that you experience letting something go. So say you want to give up your wine a day, right? You're like, I can't cope without my wine a day. And I notice that when I don't have it, I feel uncomfortable. That's kind of when you know it's a bit of a problem. It's if you like are short of breath or you feel some like tension in your body because like, you can't have it for whatever reason, but you're used to having it. So back in the day, I actually quit drinking the day I left corporate, and that's what I found. I found like I needed that glass of wine. It was a big glass to transition from corporate to mommyhood. And then the days I didn't have it, I would find myself a little bit short of breath. And I was like, okay, like this is a bit of a problem. And I quit cold turkey that day. And I quit for over 9 months. And the daily habit was then gone, right? So you might find whatever's in your life. It could be coffee. It could be, again, just like toxic people in your life. If you find that all of a sudden you can't have it or they're not around and you feel that discomfort, that's when you would want to use Archangel Raphael. And you would simply say a prayer around like, thank you, Raphael, for removing all this disease and this discomfort in letting go of something that does not serve me anymore. And you just take a few breaths and just let him do his work. And he comes through with beautiful green light. That's how I see him. And that's how a lot of the main teachers who teach angelology see him as well. So that's another one that you would want. And same if you do have a heavier addiction and there is withdrawals, you would definitely want to call in Archangel Raphael as well. You would want to call in Archangel Michael, who's probably the most well-known archangel. He cuts energetic cords. So whether you're ready to let go of something or not, but you know you need to because it's just not good for you, you would want to do a little prayer and a little bit of a ceremony with Archangel Michael to release any energetic cords that tie you to that person, substance, experience, or habit. So let's just say you're spending all your money all the time, right? You get some money, you keep spending it. It's like, what the heck is going on? Like, am I not worthy of keeping money? I'm just using this as an example. And you might want to just close your eyes and breathe in the color blue and say, thank you, Archangel Michael, for cutting all energetic cords that lead me to believe that I am not worthy of money and I am not worthy of having my savings compile and compound to give me the safety and security that I know I deserve and I know I am worthy of. And so you would imagine Archangel Michael with his mighty sword cutting all energetic cords to unworthiness when it comes to financial wellness. And so that's another way that you can use Archangel Michael in trying to cut cords with anybody or anything that does not serve you and who you want to be going into 2021 onwards. Next, you would definitely want to call in Archangel Haniel, and she might be a lesser known archangel. Haniel, Haniel. Now, anything that ends in L means of God. So she is actually known as the joy of God. She's the joy angel. She is also very connected to women because she is the angel of the moon and the cycles and the waters. And so she is also known as the archangel of our emotions. So when it comes to, wanting to replace what maybe gives us a little bit of anxiety or pain or suffering, and we're wanting to let it go, we want to replace that feeling with joy. And so you would want to call in Archangel Haniel to remind you of your inner joy, which is usually your inner child, the innocence within you. And so you would want to say a prayer to Archangel Haniel, something like, thank you, Archangel Haniel, for allowing me to feel and move through the emotions that I have been avoiding through coping with things that make me feel unhealthy. So whether you're avoiding feelings or looking at your shit through alcohol, overeating, maybe cannabis, overspending, this discontentment that you feel within, you would want to ask Archangel Haniel to allow you to express those emotions so that they can leave you and replace any of those emotions with divine joy. And that's because your core essence is joy. Your essence, your very being is joy. So you would want to call in Archangel Haniel with that. And if you are somebody who maybe finds that you may not be feeling all the emotions, I would have a bath because she is very connected to the water. And I would pick it during a moon cycle that you find very profound for yourself. I know a lot of people love full moon. I love new moon. That's just been my jam for a very, very long time. So I would definitely look at, going a bit deeper with that practice and allowing her to bring through the emotions that need to be cleared out from deep within in that very safe and supportive environment, and then replacing that energy with that of joy. So that's how I would work with Archangel Haniel. I see her as this almost like lilac, mauve, kind of like soft purple color. That's kind of how I visualize her and enjoy her energy. And then finally, one of my favorite angels in the entire world, Archangel Gabriel. I mean, this girl needs no introduction. She is all throughout all the Bibles pretty much. I know she's in at least 3 of the major Bibles for 3 of the major religions in the world. She's obviously the one who appeared to Mother Mary and told her that she would be bringing in Christ. And so some see her as a male, some see her as a female. I feel female, but again, that's all very arbitrary because in truth, we're just light on the other side. So we're adding something kind of human to something spiritual. So you guys can just say whatever you want. They don't care, to be honest with you. But I just feel such a feminine essence. And Archangel Gabriel is the messenger of God, right? So, if you have prayers to take to the highest creator, if you believe in that, whatever you believe in, you could use Archangel Gabriel to carry your messages there. So here's the thing. Some people love speaking directly to God or creator. For me, personally, it's hard to get there, right? I definitely believe in guides, definitely believe in angels. Of course, I believe in a creator, but the concept of speaking directly to a creator is hard for me because it just seems so big. It just seems so intangible to me, though I know it exists. And so I do love sending my prayers up through the ancestors, through the angels, through Archangel Gabriel. So you maybe want her to, use her to carry your intentions, carry your deepest desires up the ranks of the vibrations of the other side so that they reach the highest elevation. And I also use Archangel Gabriel for communication. So getting real with myself, having an honest conversation with myself, you would want to use the support of Archangel Gabriel. Or if you need to stop spending so much and you have this, nobody has this really in COVID 2020, but just say you have this like standing lunch date with your friend that costs you like $70 every week, and you really have to kind of scale back on that even though it brings you joy, and you need to have that conversation with them to tell them the reality of your current situation. You could call on Archangel Gabriel to give you strength and help you find the words to express what you want to say, and I bet you everything would turn out fine anyways. I actually use Archangel Gabriel before I teach anything, before I do podcasts, before I hop on any videos, because I ask her to bring me the words and bring me the communication style that will resonate with the people who will be drawn and aligned to listen to what I'm doing. So that's kind of a little bit about the angels in this time of year. Now, here's the thing. I love this thought, and this is Kyle's teaching, not mine. But I love it that whenever I'm trying to do something big in my life, like maybe these changes or bring something into my life that I'm really excited about, I kind of create a council. So you don't have to pick and choose these angels. You can use them all. You can say, well, you're welcome to sit at my council table, and I could use all of you for what I'm about to go through and what I'm about to transform in my life. So again, when I talk about using this angel energy, and I gave you guys a few colors that you could use. Jophiel too, I see her as yellow and green. Gabriel I see as kind of like this pink light, just to give you a few more colors. Michael blue, Haniel purple, Raphael green. If you want to use those, you can visualize the colors, breathing them in and out. I use prayer. I think prayer is one of the most powerful tools we have spiritually. It's our voice, it's our essence, it's our intention. So you can kind of do whatever you want to connect with the angels, to make it sacred for yourself. So that's kind of what I wanted to say about that when it comes to angel energy. And I'm really excited because anytime I spend some dedicated time getting to know the angels a little bit better, I have something miraculous happen, like literally miraculous. I don't know if I shared this on the podcast. I may have, but I'm going to share it again here. So apologize if this is repeating. But a month ago, I started this really devotional practice every single morning. I don't need to go into details on it. It's just going to be too long. But I remember one morning I was like, I wonder what new angel miracles are out there that I could read or listen to. And I'm always obsessed with people's angel experiences because I've had so many. And again, they come through with a feeling more than an action. And you can't help but be overwhelmed with the sense of love when they come near. And so I really love angel energy. And so I found this recording that I'd never seen before, and it was a church choir, and they were rehearsing one day. They're an a cappella 7-person church choir, and they always record their rehearsals. Then they go straight into service, and then they'll listen to their rehearsal tape a few days later to kind of like analyze where can we tighten up, all this fun stuff. So they did their rehearsal. They went to their service, and then a few days later they met as a group and they listened back to their rehearsal tape, and it was one of those reel-to-reel tapes, and the rehearsal caught thousands of voices. And you can find the YouTube video of it, like they put it to video, but thousands of voices. And when they had the tape analyzed, because they were like, whoa, you could hear instruments, thousands of instruments, harps, trumpets, like everything, like totally, I know that sounds really corny, but like you could hear instruments and thousands of voices. And when they had it analyzed, a human being could not hold that pitch and hold that tone for that long. It was like inhuman. So it was definitely like angels coming in and, singing with this choir. I mean, it was just so beautiful, and it ignited something within me. I was like, wow, I felt touched by listening to that story. And that's why I love doing angel studies, because I'm not trying to like retain information that's going to be valuable one day. I'm looking for the experience of connecting with that angel energy. Because what I found too through angel studies, and my first business card said I was an angel reader, I was that into it. But I discovered that you can't like call the angels in every time and have them work through you clearly. Angels show up when it's going to be most impactful and when it's going to make a big change. And so that's why I love doing angel studies, because I'm always looking for those experiences. Anyways, I went upstairs after my husband woke up, and I was like, I'm just going to go work out in my bedroom. So I worked out in my bedroom, and was on the floor stretching, and I look, and there's something shiny on my floor, and it was a little angel earring. Now here's the thing. My family, May 2019, I think it was Mother's Day, I think that's May, got me an angel earrings for Mother's Day, but I lost one of them. I lost one of them earlier this year, like 6 or 7 months ago, and I kept one in my tarot box on my altar downstairs in the main hall, main hall. I sound like I'm in Downton Abbey, my main area, right? And so I actually thought, because it was under my desk, and I sit at my desk all the time. I'm sitting here now recording this, and I have a professional cleaner that comes once a week, so my floors are always clean, top to bottom in my house. And I actually thought, I said, wow, my son must have found my earring in my tarot box. I wonder how he got in my tarot box. And so I grabbed it and I went downstairs, and my other earring was still there. And so it's just one of those moments you're kind of brought to your knees, just in awe of what spirit can manifest for you. And it was really beautiful. It was a beautiful validation for me. So not only did I feel the presence of spirit through reading and researching that story earlier that day, but I was like gifted this experience for my devotion. And I've never experienced anything that almost pays you back immediately than giving attention and devotion to the angel energies. Nothing. I swear, I'm just like, I could cry right now because I could feel them so close, and my crown is just like, my crown just feels completely open right now. I can't even describe it. So I know that sharing these stories and sharing these experiences is going to ignite some interest to you guys out there. And if nothing else, I'm so glad, because if we look at this time of year, if we can give reverence to anything, if you're non-denominational, let it be the angels, because all religions recognize them pretty much, and they're here. And they will show you that they are here more than even a departed loved one. So also, so you know, when I connect with angel energy, the vibration that I get to is dizzying, and it's very overwhelming sometimes for me. So I can't hold my energy in that space for too long. It's the most blissful thing I've experienced in this human experience. So connecting with a departed loved one is about 10 times more subtle than the energy of connecting with an angel. So it's funny, if you look at it in a layer, it's like angels really high up, way down the totem pole is departed loved one energy and ancestor energy. And then even below that is us, energetic, like vibrational wise. So that's why I love connecting with angel energy. So now I kind of wanted to move on to our ancestors, our departed loved ones. So we're looking at winter solstice. We're looking at Christmas time. We're looking at bringing in the new year, though I do believe with the new moon, we get a new year every month. So the new year, January 1st, doesn't hold all that much weight for me as it does maybe a new moon. But I did want to pass along some things that I have done in the past, and I do to kind of honor the ancestors and honor my lineage, especially when it comes to my matriarchal lineage, not just my mom's side, but my dad's side as well, my grandmother's and beyond. And so I just want to share a couple little things that you can do to integrate. And, what I say is, like, not only are you giving them your energy and your thoughts, which are just, they love, but it does add a bit of sacredness into our life. And when we add sacredness into our life, I find that we make more sacred decisions in our life. We don't get lost in that human experience. It kind of brings us down a little bit. It grounds us. It gives us something to that's bigger than ourselves to focus on. And so if you could replace a bad habit with a good habit, I would say a good habit would be creating altars, doing something that's sacred for you, salt baths with oils, prayer, like creating something that becomes sacred for you. So, I have different crystals that I charge up for different intentions. Like, that's very sacred for me. And it helps keep me grounded, and it keeps me focused on my goals and on things that I'm trying to change in my life. life. So here's just a couple quick things that you can do this holiday season to honor your ancestors and honor those who have gone home before you. And also keep in mind that when I look at this time of year, this is not when I'm asking them to prove me and show me signs. It's not. You'll get signs anyways if you ask for them or not. But this is the time where I show devotion, right? So I call it, like, I say this in my meditation practice, but like a no-seek week. I'm not seeking anything back from them. I just want to tell you how much I'm thinking of you and how much I love you. And I leave it there. And if I get signs after that, awesome. But if not, that's not my only intention. Right? So creating an altar. I have altars all over my house. Like, my husband thinks I'm crazy, but he says, and this is why we don't have bookshelves in our house or any kind of shelving, because if there's a shelf or a surface, it becomes an altar. Literally every space except for his nightstand table, which, what do I have over there? I still have a rose quartz lamp on it. Just looking back at it, poor guy. But any flat space in my house becomes an altar. And what's an altar? It's an area that's devoted to something you're passionate about at the time, right? But I want to look at it from ancestor lens. So what's on my ancestral altar? I actually have two of them. So I actually have one downstairs that has both of my grandmothers have cups that are very important to them. So I have cups that they handmade. Well, one of my grandmothers handmade and my other one did not handmade, but she passed them down to me. So I have those cups on my altar. I also have some of their jewelry up on that altar. I have incense and crystals, but I really honor the ancestors, my grandmothers, through having their belongings on that charging station, on that entire focused, energetic place that I go to daily to draw my cards, to play with my eagle feathers, to shuffle around I'm always tidying the altar. I'm always moving things around. If I'm bringing in abundance, I might put an orange on there. Orange is very much a sign of abundance. I might put different oils on there, like bergamot, if I'm working on abundance, or, self-love and self-acceptance. I might put on a piece of pyrite on there. I'm always kind of mucking with it and moving it around. If you have any handwritten letters from them or a piece of jewelry, something that you have of theirs that you just kind of want to bring them in a bit closer, add it to your altar. So altars, there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just a space that you have a couple little things there. You contemplate over it, you think about them over it, you add the energy for them to feel like we're still connected to them. I still think of you, Nana and Grandma. I still think of you often. And I think about you so much that I am creating this space so that if I'm ever standing here giving my energy to you and letting you know that I am here thinking of you, that I will open up my heart to be able to feel your presence here at this moment. And so that for me is kind of the intention of an altar. My desk altar, I have an altar on my desk where I'm sitting right now. So what do I have on it? A ton of crystals. I only buy really big and unique crystal pieces now because I have so many. So I actually have a crystal for every single chakra or every single intention that I have in my work. I got candles. I even have some First Nations references here because I am, partly First Nations. And so I want to honor that lineage as well. I have all my oracle decks that I use on the daily up here. And yeah, just little things I kind of like bring in. I have this little Find Your Magic wood box that holds cards, so I can have a card of the day. And I have Archangel Chamiel on there today, who is the angel of opening your heart. And if you've ever been hurt in the past and you have all these barriers around your heart, he's the one who tears down those walls so that you can love again. So I love Archangel Chamiel. And I have a fur pelt from my grandmother's traditional lands in northern Manitoba. And I got my Palo Santo, got my lighter. So in a plant, I like to have something alive on all my altars. So it's not just honoring the dead, it's honoring life as well. And so that's just one way you can honor the ancestors. You can also serve them a plate at your meals, whether you want to set them a plate at the table or you just want to serve a plate and put it in the corner. There are a lot of cultures that do this, and I think it's so beautiful. And so I do create a little plate at Christmas time for all my ancestors who have gone home before me so that they know that I'm thinking of them while we're gathering as a family. Of course, this year looks very different, but I will definitely still make a plate for my ancestors. Just speaking to them. Literally speaking to them directly, letting them know what's been going on in your life, even though that they know already, or letting them know how big of an impact they had on your life and any memories that have come up recently about them that you would want to share with them. All that brings them closer to us, right? And because they can be closer to us, it doesn't mean that pulls them away from their home on the other side. We don't have time and space limitations on the other side, so they can be both places at once very easily. Even if 10 relatives, I had one of my good friends passed away, and his mom asked me to not talk about him and not talk to him anymore because she felt if he was with me, he couldn't be with her. That was a really sad perspective for me, but it was one of those moments where I just had to honor the request, and I didn't try to educate her because what do I know, right? Like, I don't have all the answers either. And so I just kind of respected that boundary myself, and I did adhere to that. But they can be all places at once, right? You can listen to near-death experiences to have that validated. Anita Margiano's book, I already recommended that. Dying to Be Me, she talks about that exact concept. Share stories around the table about them. So talk about them. I know it can be painful and we're constantly worried about triggering one another, but you can be around a table and ask your parents or tell your children a story about your grandparents or a time when you were a kid. That's a really good way to honor them and bring them in close at this new year. And then ask or pray, I should say. Pray. Simply pray to them. Whatever prayer looks like for you. Prayer for me just looks like how I'm talking to you now is how I talk to the world of spirit. And so I simply just almost place my thought or place my intention upwards and over so that they know I'm talking to them. And these are different ways during this time of year that you can bring forward the angels and bring forward the ancestors. I hope you enjoy them. And the last thing I want to leave you with is some spirit messages. Now I'm going to do it a little bit differently than I do my forecasts. I just got this deck called Messages from Heaven by Jacky Newcomb. I don't necessarily recommend it. It's not beautiful. I would say, I mean, it's good. I love them, but it's not the most mind-blowing deck I've ever had in my life. But what I was intending is, because I'm a mentor, obviously a mediumship mentor, and I have my membership this month, our masterclass next week is focusing on meaningful messages, right? Giving the sitter meaningful messages. So I'm going to have one person come in and I'm going to tell the whole class who they want to connect with, bring through little couple pieces of evidence for them, and then bring through a meaningful message. And so I got this oracle deck because what I was hoping is that, I say this all the time, but our mediumship is only as good as our worldly references. So that's a their prerequisite to mediumship is a life well lived. And so I was getting this oracle deck to see if it could actually be helpful towards building a reference library of spirit messages. So kind of does that, but I'm still kind of on the hunt for something amazing. So if you guys know a deck that would be a good reference builder when it comes to messages from the other side, please let me know through Instagram at Squamish Medium, and I will check it out and buy it. It's all business expenses now. I'm full time, so I can keep buying them and expensing it. So let me know about that. So I am going to be using this deck and just pulling a few cards, and I've set the intention with the angels and spirit before that I would be bringing through a few messages through this deck and for you guys for Christmas. So I hope you guys enjoy it and I hope it resonates. So the first one that comes through is someone needs your support. Can you help them? We will guide you. So this is really important because there's a lot of people out there who know and feel that internal yearning to serve spirit, but you think that you need to take a class and you think that you need to get certified and you think you don't know enough and you haven't experienced enough, and that's kind of BS. And sometimes excuses is fear in a different form. And so spirit here is saying, just simply set the intention to be of service and trust that they will guide you through the process. You will surprise yourself completely when you do that. So look for that this holiday season. Maybe there's an opportunity to give back in your community. Maybe there's a family in need or a single mama that could use a couple things. That's how you can serve as well, right? So look for any opportunity to help the angels. And sorry for the sound quality change. My mic just kaput on me. So I'm just using my computer audio now. So the next message we have from Spirit here is be creative. Look for ways to build, grow, and manifest. And what I love about this card is it's a hummingbird creating a little nest for her and her family. So For some of us, and this is what Spirit's bringing me, especially for the women who are listening. I know I have a lot of male listeners here, so do accept this if it resonates with you as well. Now, sometimes we can see pursuing our creative endeavors as being selfish. So Spirit is here to say not only is it not selfish, but it actually brings joy to your family, and it will come through abundance and opportunities. And so Spirit is asking you to start getting creative, start following some of those passions that you have and some of those nudgings that you have from inside of you that you want to start expressing. So here's obviously one from Archangel Haniel, because I was talking about her earlier, but have you laughed today? Find joy and lift your soul. So a lot of us are taking things really seriously. COVID has made us a serious bunch. Check out my Me Mondays if you need a little bit of a pick-me-up. I did 2 today. I gave a bonus one today. But here's the truth. Love, joy, gratitude all sit at the same vibration, and that's the vibration that the world of spirit sits at. So if we can dedicate, if we are interested in developing spiritually and mediumistically, then we also need to take the energy of joy very seriously. Isn't that an oxymoron right there? But we need to incorporate more joy into our lives, whatever that looks like for you. I don't think I'm more joyful than when I'm playing with my new puppy. And when I'm serving spirit, when I'm in my mentorship sessions, it's actually when I am my absolute happiest. I could be having a really bummer day and a really stressful day, and by the end of a session, I am on cloud 9, literally cloud 9. So that's how I find my joy, and I prioritize it. So at the beginning, my husband thought that was a little bit selfish because I'm just pursuing my dreams. Who pursues their dreams, right? But now I'm in a position where my dream is supporting my family completely. And so, I can move anywhere in the world now if I want. I'm bringing my parents with me wherever I go, but I'm not landlocked anymore, except for COVID, okay? But the truth is, joy is not selfish. Joy is your birthright, and you are worthy of a life of joy. So let this be a reminder from the world of spirit that you are worthy of incorporating a lot of joy into your life, whether that's through creativity or helping others, which also came up with these spirit messages. And the final spirit message that I'm going to give you guys today is believe in yourself and your abilities. We believe in you. So that's the message from spirit. Believe in yourself and your abilities. We believe in you. So maybe you want to say a little prayer out to the world of spirit. Please allow me, and thank you for allowing me to believe in myself like you believe in me, and see what they bring you. Okay, guys, so this is your episode for this week. I will be back next week. I will be back twice next week. I will be back with the episode on mediumship and mindset, and I will also be back for the January energy forecast and spirit messages. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Leave me a little bit of a Christmas gift. If you could leave a review and a 5-star rating, that would be a wonderful Christmas gift for me. I do read them. I do share them on Instagram. I will tag you if I know who you are. And I really, really do enjoy reading them. And if you share them, tag me on Instagram at Squamish Medium. And I look forward to connecting with you guys next week. I hope you have a wonderful solstice. I hope you have a wonderful conjunction. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, or however you like to celebrate, Festivus for the rest of us. It's all good. It's all perfect. And so are you. Love you guys.